You know, the shops were shut down. They weren't letting people fish. They said, oh, yeah, I was like, I was here a few years ago. So I was down there scuba diving and took 5 days off with the family. I was like, this was, and I also went down to Central America. This was really busy before, Costa Mayan places, and they don't let the locals fish anymore under UN rules. You know, the big trawlers can come fishing, but little boats aren't allowed to go out and fish. I mean, it was bad. And the tourist places were almost bankrupt. And, that place is in deep trouble. I appreciate your call, sir. Let's go to Chuck in North Carolina. Chuck, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I just want to encourage you to put all of your efforts towards a bird flu film. Maybe it can be mixed in with the chemtrails or something like that, but I really think it's urgent. I called in Burma, told him the same thing about 2.5 weeks ago. Something is brewing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I just showed a newscast where they said Saddam is going to attack America through al-Qaeda. And this was right before 9/11 with these fake newscasts they showed to the feds. This is a brainwashing video for federal employees and local police. And notice how the whole script they were showing fit in with what they really did a few months later with the anthrax, trying to blame it on Saddam and 9/11. I mean, these people never stop. And I'm telling you, they got in their cards, like I said, a month ago and 2 weeks ago and last week, in their cards, this is exactly what I said. I said they got a bird flu, they got an attack on Iran, they got a nuke, they got a financial collapse, they got Pakistan. That's in their cards. They got these cards. And I know they're going to play cards. And then I saw Fox News Friday morning saying that al-Qaeda stole a nuke out of Pakistan with no evidence, and the reporter didn't say, what's your proof? You know, this would be, and then it wasn't top story. They just slip it out. So, man, look, their agenda for world government, World Bank, none of this is going to work if they don't have big crises so they can pose as the saviors. And whenever governments get in trouble, they stage crises. And even if this is a naturally occurring flu, the way they're hyping it, they're using it to pose as the saviors, centralized control. And then you've got it mutating with pig, bird, and human from Asia and Europe and North America in one spot. Very suspicious. Anything else? Yeah,
exactly. You know, right after the Tea Parties are a big success, right as Mexico's on the verge of revolution, right as Ron Paul's bill is about to come out, 1207.
It's got 86 sponsors to audit the Fed.
I mean, this is the big event to cover up everything. This is Monica Lewinsky, or maybe worse.
God, I hope not, man. I'm right here in Texas. I mean, this is basically Mexico. And
God bless you, Alex. Thank you for doing what you're doing tonight, working on Saturday. Hey, I work 7 days a week, too. We appreciate it. We love you.
Hey, thank you. Hey, listen, don't thank me. Wild horses couldn't pull me away from this. I mean, you figure out the government's run by eugenics criminals who've done thousands of chemical, biological, radiological tests on the American people, admittedly killing us in many cases. They stage terror attacks. That's declassified. They're criminals. Foreign banks are bankrupting my children's futures. Of course I'm going to be down here. I'm going to be down here after the show working on the next film. Got a little surprise film coming out that I'll announce in 1 week that'll be available in 1 week. A little surprise, a little emergency transmission. And then I've got just a lot more coming up. Another Obama film, September 1st, and a lot more. And don't forget to support us, folks. This costs a lot of money to do this. Please purchase some of the books, videos, T-shirts, information at Infowars.com. Now is the time to wake people up. I want to recap everything at the end of the show. I want to leave here about 10:15 Central and then back into retransmission. But let's run through more of your calls. I'm going to recap all the top news and the latest info for everybody that just joined us in this special transmission. It's 9:36 and 27 seconds, 9:36 and 29 seconds Central Standard Time on the 25th, Saturday, the 25th day of April, 2009. Let's go to Mark in Oregon. Mark, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex. How you doing?
Good, sir.
Oh, Alex, just a couple of things here. First one, you know that they're combining the a type of human virus, bird flu virus, as well as your swine flu virus.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's under the microscope.
Yeah, I mean, it's basic. No, I have Reuters and AP admitting that. If I haven't made that clear, I'm going to make it clear. Mm-hmm. This is a super engineered virus, 95%, and that's conservative. I mean, I should say 99.9. This is staged. There's no doubt. The question is it a trial balloon to fearmonger and set up their infrastructure, or to give the Mexican government cover to play the savior and to sell a bunch of Tamiflu for Obama's people and Bush's people and Rumsfeld that own the stock? Or is this the big one? Go ahead.
Well, is it the beta test on top of all of that? You know how they roll their accomplishments into one move as a good chess player.
No, exactly. I've always said, and I know you're a long-time listener, that they're going to have lots of little beta tests before the big one.
Well, maybe they won't need many beta tests, Alex, as far as they've gotten along here. They probably go back through history and they analyze from the historical record how people reacted to pandemic situations from the beginning to the end of them. I'm sure they've got their satanic means down to a science at this point. But Alex, I mainly called in today to really ask you to please investigate, through the internet and whatever medical sources you may have, the effectiveness of essential oil of oregano. Okay, I've used it now for more than 15 years. I've helped numerous people with numerous maladies with it that I
know. I mean, that's another thing. Oil of oregano, incredible antiviral properties, but I don't want to say any of this is a cure. The biggest thing is if flu's actually killing people around you, don't get fear-mongered and run out and take their vaccine, because it last 6 years in a row, they haven't gotten it right for what the real, for the flu of that year. They guessed the mutation. And I'm just saying, if it really is breaking out, don't think if you got oil of oregano and garlic and a few other things that it's going to make you invincible or make your baby invincible. Stay away from people if it turns out to be a real pandemic and turns out to be some new super flu.
Alex, is a preventative. It will boost the immune system to the point where I doubt very seriously that anybody is going to get it, okay? Now, as a curative, it is just as effective on all flu viruses from everything I've seen. Now, when I called you, I don't know, it's been 6 weeks or more, I mentioned to you that on Steve Quayle's radio show, when Steve was still on shortwave about 2.5, 3 months ago now, Hawk did the guest host on that show one day. And what Hawk reported, he didn't say maybe, and he didn't say if, he said that Dr. Cass Ingram, who is the medical doctor turned naturopathic type doctor, excuse me, who publicized the effectiveness and then wrote a book called The Cures in the Cupboard, giving you, 60 or 70 major maladies to humankind that oregano addresses.
No, I understand. It's been talked about for ever 12 years, 13 years I've been on Genesis.
But he said university studies had recently proven about 3 months ago that the oil of oregano actually kills the Ebola virus as well as the deadly form of the bird flu virus.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate, I appreciate your call. We've got to keep running here. I won't get to everybody. Missy in Michigan. Thank you so much, Missy.
Hi, Alex. I have 2 questions for you. First, would you be willing to share with us how you would personally handle it if you or someone in your family got infected?
Well, I agree with what the caller in Oregon, Mark, was just saying, that oil of oregano, elderberry, vitamin C, but it's hard once somebody gets infected and they're vomiting their guts out and crapping their guts out to help them then. You want the preventative. And I know that garlic, I know oil of oregano, I know some of these different mushrooms have been proven to be extremely antiviral and really help. But talking to other medical doctors and actually looking at the studies he just mentioned, and I am aware of them, it helps. I don't want to tell anybody there's a silver bullet. If this stuff really is as bad as they say, again, we're hoping that's not the case, but the media is really hyping it up, or in the next event, or whatever's coming down the road, it's good to have these stores of this, but to stay away from people. Don't think if you're just taking oil of oregano, you're invincible. But again, this is probably just media hype and a bunch of fear-mongering. We'll know more tomorrow. I'll be on the air 4 to 6 p.m. to integrate the info and to take your calls, and we'll know more on Monday. But if it's true, as BBC is reporting and others, that they're covering up the real extent of the deaths, and it's over 200 in Mexico City, and this stuff, they admit, has spread all over North America, this is a serious situation.
My second question is, do you have a call into Dr. Carly? I'd love to hear what she has to say about all this.
That's a good idea. Well, we're going to get Carly on. We're going to get a lot of different medical doctors and people on the show. Did you notice I've been talking about bird flu a lot the last few years because I noticed they'd pipe down in their fear-mongering and propaganda. It's when they hype it up, always out of a clear blue sky, that then they play the games because they want to pre-program. And notice we've been doing show after show. Did one last Monday before any of this broke out. The news broke on Wednesday. Notice that we have been, and the Baxter. People don't know the Baxter story. You should go to Infowars.com and read, and PrisonPlanet.com and read Swine Flu is Deadly Mix of Never Before Seen Viruses. And then we linked all the stories and articles about Baxter and give you the full picture there. Another one, swine flu outbreak originated at Fort Dix in 1976. The original plague that killed 40 million in 1918 originated at a U.S. military base. Those were staged events. That's why President Ford was ready with the swine flu shot that killed so many people. And then folks refused to take it. They're running eugenics operations.
You're listening to GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio.